Hi and welcome back. As I said, today's going to be all about moving. Not necessarily exercise, but just walking at your own pace, stretching exercises, just being able to get out. Now, if it's a beautiful day, go to the park. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you're not able to get outside, you can do walking exercises sitting down. Just move your legs up and down, and I'll demonstrate that. There is also, if it's a windy day, rainy day, there's things that you can do, like you can always go to the mall and walk the mall for 20-30 minutes. Walk your local Walmart. Just the reason why you need to get up and move is because if you can't move, your body hurts more. It really does, especially as you get older. As you get older, you lose more muscle mass. The more muscle mass you lose, okay, the more you cannot move. Moving helps what muscles you have to keep its tone, and the extra protein that you have in your diet will help build that muscle mass back up. Now, if you're having problems getting up, getting out, and generally not being able to do anything, do what you can. Even if you are in your own neighborhood, walk down to the mailbox, walk down your driveway. If you have a long driveway, go ahead and make laps. You don't have to go to the park. You don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to go to a gym. Just all you have to do is walk, and it doesn't have to be a brisk walk. The faster you walk, the better, but until you can get up to that point, just do what you can. Now, I do recommend, if you're starting out and you can't really move much, okay, just start out with 5 minutes a day. That's all. That's it. 5 minutes a day. Being outdoors helps you get motivated to move. You have the fresh air, as fresh as you can get it, depending on where you live. You have the sunshine, you have the warm air. It helps bring a little bit extra happiness to this tedious task. Now I recommend this to be done whenever you're starting out. 5 minutes twice a week, like on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Then go ahead, and if once you get used to it, everybody's different. Okay, even if you can't do 5 minutes, do 2 minutes. If you after you get used to that, start upping it another 5 minutes. So give it 10 minutes, then 15, twice a week, until you get to 30 minutes. After you get to 30 minutes, start doing 3 times a week. I wouldn't do any more than 3 times a week though, because your body does need to rest after you do exercise. One thing about walking outside, maybe in the park, is that especially whenever it's early, really early spring, there are actually certain herbs and weeds out that are beneficial that you can take a look at to make sure that they're actually blooming. I was able to, the other day, pick a whole bunch of henbane, but it is high in iron, high in vitamin D, vitamin K. It's a gorgeous weed, and you can add it to your recipes for extra extra nutrients. Now we all see this weed. We all ignore this weed. It's got purple flowers to it. This one hasn't gotten the flowers yet, but if you take a look, this is the weed I'm talking about. And it's everywhere. Also, one thing I've noticed that the dandelions are popping up. I see yellow flowers everywhere, but I don't see their leaves. That means that they are trying to recover from last year's drought. There's not much green going on because of the intense. The drought burned all of our grass, and it looks like things are trying to come back up. Not really. Tiny leaves with flowers. Now it's still too early for these to even bloom. So we're going to go ahead and wait a little bit before we start picking dandelions. Oops. We're going to wait a little bit before we start picking dandelions to give the early bees a little bit of sustenance. But I'm hoping this isn't it for this year. We hardly got any dandelions last year. Only maybe a few that came up in the yard. That's it. Dandelions are also incredibly nutritious, and the roots you can dry out and have it as a coffee substitute. I usually use it for tea. Henbit. That's the name of the herb. I do apologize. We'll do a foraging video. I don't generally forage in the city park. You never know what's going on here. I like to forage in areas that have very little population. Like we have a local lake that we like to go fishing in. We'll go ahead and do foraging. Hopefully sometime this year. I tried to do it last year. Didn't work out because of that heat. I'm hoping that we can actually get that done. So, if you're not able to get out of your house, there's a lot of people who can't. There are some things that you can do in a chair that you'll be able to do and to be able to get a little bit of exercise. Now, I told you that there is a way of mimic walking without leaving your chair. It's just basically going like this. Just like you're walking. This will actually move your hips, strengthen up the tops of your legs, and will work your lower back. So go ahead and try this for as long as you can. If you can do 5 minutes, go ahead. If not, just start out as many as you can. Stop, rest, and then try again in 2 days. And keep it up. Now for strength exercises, I have bands. You can get these off of Amazon. There's different sizes, different shapes. There's one that I did have that has handles on them. It's like a elastic band with 2 handles on it. I like to put those on my feet. Here, let me get this. Around my feet. Bring them up and do curls. Okay, this one's not the normal one that I use, but you get the idea. Now for something like this, which is a round elastic. I would use this more for upper arm and shoulder strengthening. So if you sit up straight and as much as you can, lift your elbows. Okay. If you have shoulder issues or elbow issues, do what's comfortable for you. Please, if you are under the guidance of a pain specialist or any other medical doctor, consult them first. And then just stretch as much as you can, hold for 5 seconds, and then release. Up, stretch for 5 seconds, release, and rest. If you don't have the pain, go ahead and try 5 of those 3 times. If you can't do it, don't fret. Modified version. Go ahead and do this across your chest. This will work your upper arm muscles, but it won't work your back muscles. Okay, this will work in between your shoulder blades and your front arm muscles. But if you just do this, you are working your upper arm muscles. This may actually help with the strengthening of the muscles around your shoulder. Now there's another thing that you can do with this. And it's going to take a little bit of manipulation. Okay, you want to fling this in your back and grab the other end. Okay, grab the other end, just like this. And then up. Go up. This will work the flabby side of your arm and your elbow. You want to try to do 3 times on each side. So that and that. You may need help with this, or just a longer band. This helps this muscle right here. It also helps this muscle right here. The muscles that you don't normally use. It'll work the muscles that you don't normally use on a daily basis. These are also good if you want to use these while you're walking. Go ahead and put them around your ankles and try to move as much as you can. Okay, this will, instead of putting ankle weights around you, these are a much cheaper alternative. If you can do it, go for it. And per my chiropractor, if you have problems with your hips, lower back, knee problems, try walking backwards as much as possible. Don't trip yourself, because that will actually utilize a little different muscles to where it'll help your back pain, hip pain, leg pain, knee pain, and will also help correct your posture, because as we get older, the more we do this, we try to go back into the fetus position. Okay, walking backwards helps us correct ourselves. Well, I was going to go ahead and do another breakfast video, but the Super Bowl's going to be in less than 24 hours. So what we're going to go ahead and do is do some safe snacks. Now, with snacking, you can go ahead and either replace it as a meal, or you can go ahead and eat a meal and then add the extras. That way you don't snack so much. Because most of us snack out of boredom, which is where we got here in the first place. We're going to take some of our smoked queso and add a little bit of cream cheese, because this did over-process a little bit. We're going to make some stuffed bell peppers. The little mini stuffed bell peppers. You know, make it little poppers. We also have store-bought bacon-wrapped quail, which is perfect protein. And then we're going to go ahead and make a few of those burrito tacos, but in a different way. We're going to use lettuce. You're going to use a lot of lettuce. I use lettuce for hamburger buns, hot dog buns, taco shells, salads. Lots of lettuce. But it is very low glycemic and will not hurt your blood sugars too much. I also have some ready-made meals before the game. Grandpa's getting pork pot pie. This is something that I canned before my diabetes diagnosis, and he's eating all the stuff. And this is sausage with sauerkraut, canned. I do make canned meals to be able to store for later. And I may be able to get a few of those in. So let's get started. This is going to be really quick because everything is already processed, everything is already preserved, and don't need to do much besides just putting everything together. Here's the meals. Let's go ahead and put these to the side. Okay, so for the taco meat, all we need to do is open this up, put it in the open this up, put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave, and warm it up. That's it. That's all we need to do. I'm also adding some cactus. Yes, you can preserve cactus. And some homemade salsa. One thing about the burrito tacos is that you do not need salsa. If you want salsa, you can. I am going to go ahead and get out some pork carnita meat that I made as well to be able to make different types of tacos. Alright, and here's the carnitas that I canned a while back with my last jar. So we'll go ahead and make pork and goat tacos. Not mixed together. So that goes with that one. We got the cactus. And I made these a while back too. This is watermelon lemonade. I juiced watermelon, added lemons to it, and made a concentrate. I made it to where it's 1-to-1. Okay, so one jar to these to 1 jar of water will make a little bit of a drink. So we're going to go ahead and put that together. Keep it in the refrigerator to where it gets nice and cold. And this is why I can. Think about it. If you don't preserve what you have in your home, it'll go bad. And that's a waste of money. I don't like wasting money. Now, in reality, that doesn't look like much. But it's enough. I do apologize, I did, drip. Grandma needs a bib. Because Grandma needed to taste the concentration. Alright, so to melt the cheese, because it did over process, you kind of want to add a thinner, because it's going to get chunky a little bit. You want to put this on like low to medium low. Alright, we're going to slowly warm this up. We're going to add another brick of cream cheese. It won't diminish the flavor of the smoked queso, but it will help. Now to thin this out, we're using another jar of salsa. You can add cream to it if you wish, or milk. But since it already has salsa in it, the salsa will help, and because there's so much dairy in this queso, kind of don't want to add more calories. And I'm using a jelly jar. Some people like to use pints. Some people like to can their salsa in quarts. I do jelly jars only because I'm only going to use one of these. Why waste so much if I don't eat salsa that much? Now, if you want to see how I made my queso salsa, or my queso cheese, and canned it, I'll put the link below. And let that slowly warm up and slowly melt. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get these situated. Now you can stuff these two ways. You can either stuff them whole. Okay, just go ahead and take the top off, hollow it out, and put the cheese in there, which is totally acceptable. Or you can slice it in half and make it like a boat. Grandpa likes boats, so we're going to make boats. Always line your tray. Makes for easier cleanup, because this cheese is going to go ahead and melt all over the tray. Okay, so I know this is going to be a lot more cheese than we'll be able to stuff in these peppers. So what you can do with the cheese is either put it back in the fridge and eat it for later, or if you have guests over, go ahead and put out a thing of chips, and they can use it as dip. It's just queso. And once this is all nice and congealed and melted together, okay, I'm going to put a dab in this because it's going to spread. This is the reason why I like the whole ones. Grandpa doesn't, because he likes the mess. I don't like the mess. Whenever I'm eating these, whenever I'm making these. But you know what? I made him whole last time. So this time it's his turn. Alright, now that we've had all these filled, okay, we're going to put it under the broiler on low for about 5 minutes. You want this the top to get a little bit crispy. Okay, and then we can add Parmesan cheese on here if you wish to have that type of flavor. You can use this with any cheese. I'm using my smoked queso cheese because that's what I have on hand. You can do this with plain cream cheese, You can do this with cheddar cheese, you name it. Okay, just all you have to do is fill up the little boats and the peppers, and then you'll be able to, you know, just toast them. You want to get the peppers warm and a little bit baked, but not over baked, over crispy. If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. So those don't take too long. And then the rest of this can be added to a bowl for regular chips and dip for other people. Or if you have a party of people who are coming over, you can use this as a veggie dip. Sliced cucumbers, carrots, celery. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with the leftovers. Alright, while that is baking, let's go ahead and strain our cactus and work on the tacos. Alright, since it's not Super Bowl Sunday just yet, I'm going to make the pork tacos, and we're going to save the birria tacos until tomorrow, whenever the game starts. Let's go ahead and open this up. Strain it off. Warm it up, and we'll be good. Let's make a few tacos. While that is warming up, it only takes like 2 minutes. Go ahead and put these away for now. You're going to use romaine lettuce. And it's mainly the bigger outer leaves that you want, preferably not ripped like that one. Save that one for a salad. As best as you can. And we're going to make it more of a wrap style. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves. This is for 1 serving. Okay, and you do want some sort of cheese. Typically I put like the white crumbly cheese on there, but I don't have any at the time. We are going to go ahead and take out a little bit of the rib. Okay, just the harder part. If you like crunch, go ahead and keep these. I'm just going to go ahead and put those in my worm farm. Okay, so now that we have the meat, the salsa, cactus, and cheese all in one area. Oh, if you want to add sour cream to this, you can as well. All right. Let's open up our salsa. I'm going to put some of the meat at the bottom, and you can put this any way you want. Some people like to put cheese at the bottom to let the heat from the meat melt it. But since we're making wraps, it really doesn't matter for this one. A little bit of cactus. Cactus is good for you. A little bit of salsa. A little bit of cheese. Let's go ahead and put a dollop or two of sour cream. You can either eat it like this, or you can go ahead and fold it just like that for a lettuce wrap. You know, trying to plate something like this, it's not going to look that pretty. It'll taste good. This won't look pretty. And we're going to go ahead and make one open-faced. Now on these, I'm using Colby cheese. I am not using cheddar because I don't have it. Okay, since this is just food for me, at least today, wash your hands. Please, just wash your hands if you have food people coming. See how nice and brown they are? Some of them are a little bit charred. But that's fine. It actually brings out the sugars in the pepper. And if you want this to stiffen up pretty fast before it melts everywhere, put it in the fridge or even the freezer for a little bit to cool off the cheese. And if you feel adventurous, you can even make them bacon wrapped. Okay, let's go ahead and get a snapshot of this. This is a whole plate of food. You can use this as a meal during the Super Bowl. You can just snack on it all the time. It'll hardly bring up your blood sugar. It is very, very compliant. Now, just because this is Super Bowl Sunday and this is a keto compliant dish, does not mean it's not low in calorie. Right now, we shouldn't be counting calories anyway. We should be counting carbs. But just to let you know, this is loaded. Doesn't look pretty, but it's going to taste good. And that's what counts. Well, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time, and go Kansas City.